persistence, I think it's the one thing that really can take our work from being good to very good to really great. It's that one thing overall that I find that everyone has different amounts, and there's always something that some people are born super persistent. I think other people, it can be enhanced by your environment or things that we do. For example, let me just grab a few of the paintings that I've done sort of over the years. So when you think I've probably done 10,000 paintings, I think I've sold around about 2,000. So that means I've failed 8,000 times, kind of technically. Not that every painting that sells means that it's a success. But if you have a look at a lot of these sort of little still life paintings, I've probably done 500 or 600 of these. They're great training because they really do teach us the basic fundamentals. And then also we have things like just that sheer practice, trial, error, failure, but we've reduced it. We don't have that worry of it being, oh, you know what, this has to be something that I have to sell, I have to make a living from. So I find these to be excellent devices to build confidence, which I think kind of does blend in with persistence, because there's so many things that we gain from them. So if you think these are just a couple, and here's a nice little painting from Venice, but I wasn't quite 100% happy with it. So it comes down into every painting is almost like a rehearsal for the next painting, my next good painting, or the one that I really do love. So I also have a one from 2010. Actually, I did a video of this in about 2002, 2003. And it's actually interesting to sort of see how it has changed colour-wise, and how my work has evolved and my eye has changed, and sort of managed to see with a pure light, a more clear, accurate light. So this was just what was set up on the table when I was having lunch at my parents' place. You just never know when you can really sort of find something to paint. But once again, just comes down to being another little practice. This one's actually been done on Queensland red cedar from 2008. And I did do a bigger version. This was kind of like the study for it. So that was just another one. And then we've got one from Siena, Italy. So I do find chopping, changing, doing lots of different sort of subject matter is always a help. But I'd also say wait till you've really got your energy flowing, your eye in, you've got some practice behind you before you do the more difficult ones. This one's from 2008 as well. This one was actually in my second book. It's from a regional town in New South Wales. Actually, it was an area that my grandfather lived in briefly when they were moving from Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, and finally up to Queensland, which is more in the northern parts of Australia. And I wondered why it probably didn't sell. It's got a few little compositional concerns, but that's the part that we have to think about and work on. I find when I'm working, I do love to listen to music, and that's universal to, or the music that you listen to is individual to each person. It's not a universal thing. If you've twisted my arm, I would say that, you know what, my whole career is almost a Roy Orbison inspired career. I've known of his music since I was 3 or 4. It always pleased my ear, and it certainly does help on a difficult day. Or and I used to always think that if I got a new album or a new record back in there, or a cassette back years ago, I was going in and I was getting paid just to listen to my new album or my new cassette. So that was a good way just to be able to go in, no pressure of thinking, oh geez, what am I going to paint today? Because that's a constant sort of thing that we, or because I like to chop and change and really sort of do quite a lot of different subject matter. But I think even the the idea of failure. We have to learn how to use that to strengthen us, not to tear us down. Probably earlier on, I used to take it a lot more to heart. I would sort of really think, I'm never going to get this to work. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. But then it's funny, the next day or 2 days later, I'll come out with a really good painting. That's why I always like to think in each day, if I do a painting that I'm not happy with, I'm more than happy to admit defeat and say, you know what, it got me today. I didn't come with the right patience, the right perseverance, and it got the better of me. But tomorrow I'm going to come back and I'm going to be more armed with what I learnt from yesterday and what I've learnt from the weeks and months and years prior. So there's so many sort of little different things that we can do. I've always sort of tried to make my studio almost a pleasurable place to be. Even if I'm not working, I have my computer over here that I'll look through for material, and sometimes that can inspire me. So I don't think we can rely on just the subject matter, just the medium that we work in, the artists that we admire. That's why for me, music is one of my great loves, and that really is my little go-to, probably in life as a general rule, for sort of washing away some of the troubles of the day or getting you through some times where when we're just back in the studio after a long break, we might sort of think to ourselves, oh boy, you know what, this is so mentally tough, but also physically demanding. That's why the music can help. And the other side of things is making sure we have enough work behind us. Painting is a discipline like learning to play a piano or a musical instrument. We wouldn't expect to be able to just take a few lessons, buy our own piano, and then play Rachmaninoff or Mozart or Beethoven, any of the greats. It does require a similar amount of discipline. The marvellous thing is, we can get success early, but then it may take a little while before we get success again when we're in the earlier stages of our career and of our journey. So that's super important, building up that mental strength, the physical toughness. I've probably mentioned that before, and I think it is something that really does get forgotten or almost sort of not even thought of. If I've had that break, normally my first painting is super enjoyable, but then that's when the hard work begins, is that second, third, getting myself back to almost a month's worth of painting. And that's normally 1 month to 2 months. That's when I'll start doing the more challenging and even bigger paintings as well. So there's probably things that you'd be able to put in the comments and say what you like to do as well to build your persistence, where we can't rely on family, friends. Over the years, we'll get injuries. I've had sort of a trigine removed from my left eye. I used to be quite allergic to dust and dust mites. I injured my shoulder when I was about 38. They're all sort of things that do take persistence and also do take time and effort to overcome. So it's a matter of developing skills to overcome obstacles. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. All the best.